I think it's about that time again for an update. I don't have much to update, but it's dishes time. Well, this is Chrissy cooking at home. I would be Chrissy. Hello. Are you surprised? Pardon me. Allergies are nuts right now here in the Sinus Valley of upstate New York. Probably going to pop a couple of Benadryl. Flonase and Zizal are not cutting it right now. I have no idea what pollen is in the air, but it is going crazy. So I have some dishes to do, and I need to get going on some banana snack cake. Check out that video. It's so good. No eggs, no dairy. I believe it would be good gluten-free. If you wanted to do the 1-for-1 gluten-free flour. I do plan on trying that someday when I get some gluten-free flour, 1-to-1 baking, to give to my girlfriend who is gluten-free. I used to do a lot of baking for her to try recipes, tweaking my regular stuff for gluten-free, because even though it's 1-to-1, it still just never really seemed like it would pass for not gluten-free. Like, you could tell it was gluten-free. Things are getting better and better as people are avoiding gluten for certain reasons, either it be celiac, or it be sensitivities, or it be for inflammation, or for other health reasons. It's getting more and more attention, and things are getting better and better, but I want to tweak my recipes for her. So, I digress as usual. We're going to do some dishes. We're going to talk. We got to talk about little Miss Nellie. She's going to be 9 weeks in a couple of days, which brings up a lot for me. So, I'm going to take what's in the sink out of the sink, to clean the sinks, to fill the sink with some hot soapy water, because I've said in my other videos, I do not have a fancy electric dishwasher. It's old school, by hand, with the rubber gloves when I remember them. So I'm going to go ahead and take off the rings, put them in my little dish next to you, and take some Benadryl, and then we're going to get started and we'll talk. All right, I think I'm pretty well set up. This tripod annoys me because the way it's set up is I'm over here, and I feel like if I'm talking to my face, I'm talking to you. But when I'm talking to you, the camera is actually over here. And that's when you see me looking at you. So keep moving. Now that just looks... You are in my kitchen window. Do you like the view? The view out my kitchen window is mostly a garage. A little patch of grass. Ain't missing much. I'm prettier than that garage. Don't you think? I even did some makeup because I was bored. Miss Nellie. 2 months old. Today is the 21st. She was born on the 21st. She's 2 months old. She's coming up on 9 weeks in a couple of days. She got her 2-month immunizations yesterday. What a fun day. Got them nice, bright and early at 9 o'clock in the morning. Real tears. Bubby was there. Logan was there to help. You know, Bubby's such a good kid. You know, being 12, he's there for her. With being diabetic, he knows the pain of shots. He has the CGM and the pump, and for 6 months before that, it was shots. And when he was diagnosed, you know, it was several days in the hospital in DKA, so it was IVs and torturous. Now it's routine, but you know, in the beginning, it's just. So all we can do is just hope and pray that Nellie does not develop diabetes too. We were told there's a DNA test she can do when she's 2, we were told by the endocrinologist, Logan's endocrinologist at the diabetes center, to see if she may develop, if she has a chance of developing type 1 diabetes like Logan. If she does, we know the warning signs. We can catch it a lot faster than we did with Logan. So there's that. Now, I don't know why I did my makeup. I don't know why I decided to do this video. I don't know why I decided to do this video on doing dishes. I don't know how we're going to accomplish this, people. Okay. In my very first video, I talked about George. George's cremains are in this necklace. Not all of them, obviously. A little bit. The rest of them are in that urn that I sit next to. A little bit of his cremains are put in several necklaces and given to several loved ones. And the rest of his cremains are in that urn. So, 9 weeks. Nellie will be 9 weeks on Friday. Approximately 9 weeks of age is when George was shaken violently by the throat for several minutes by his biological sperm donor, is what I call him, his biological father, while I was at work one night. October 9th, 2002. So, when Logan hit 9 weeks, I struggled. Wasn't sure how I was going to do with Miss Nellie. I'm older, I'm more experienced, I went through it before. I'm in therapy now, have been for the last 10 years. I have a better support system. I have a lot more people in my life who care about me, who know the history, who know the story, who a lot of them had met George, got to know George before he passed 5 years ago. Struggling. Got up at 1 o'clock in the morning this morning with Miss Nellie. Okay. She needed some Tylenol. She needed a bottle. She needed a diaper change. Typical stuff. You know, nothing new. Did all that. Got her settled down. Put her in her swing. Turned on Mickey Mouse Club. No, I turned on Bluey. She settled down for a bit. I couldn't go back to sleep. I look out the window of the door. And what do I think I see? I think I see the man who shook George. Did I? No. Was I seeing things? Yeah. Did my stomach drop? Did my heart drop into my stomach? They both dropped. They both dropped. And we live out in the country. Okay, we have wild animals that can harm us, that have killed some of our indoor, outdoor animals. So we do have shotguns. My first instinct after my stomach and heart dropped and I wanted to cry was to get the shotgun. I was not going to let him hurt any more of my babies. And I have had night terrors of him hurting me, kidnapping me, mutilating me, all kinds of just awful night terrors over the years. Holding it together. No tears come out yet. It's coming close. It's coming close. I miss that boy. I look at Nellie and I see George sometimes. She is turning into her own person, but when Nellie was born, she was identical to George. There goes the tears. She is turning into her own person now, which is fantastic. But I still see George. And to still look so much like him and make faces at 9 weeks is hard. Because I think back to what happened to him, and I see him hooked up to those machines and all those IVs. All those seizures. for weeks. He bled out so much into his brain, he needed 2 blood transfusions. Oh, it's just terrible stuff, you know. He survived. By his own strength and his will to live, he survived. He survived for almost 16 years. They told me he wasn't going to survive the weekend. They told me he wouldn't see his first birthday. Said he wouldn't make it to 5. Eventually they stopped telling me when he was going to die. Because they didn't know. Every illness, every hospitalization, they'd say he's not going to survive this one. And he had a good habit of making them liars, proving them wrong. He passed away July 14th, 2018. 13 days shy of his 16th birthday. So, July is really rough. That's why I started these channels, because I started canning as a hobby. I usually start a new hobby around the time of his passing and his birthday every few years. The first year he passed, I started learning to crochet. I taught myself through YouTube videos and reading crochet books and Google. Googling what the abbreviations meant. Just 9 weeks is hard. July is hard. October is hard. It always will be until the day I die. But I am grateful to be here. I am grateful for Logan. I am grateful for Nellie. And I am so grateful for my sweetheart. Because that's a real dad. That's how a real dad should be. The way he is. You know, he loves his children. And he would never harm his children. He would harm those who would attempt to harm his children. Children are utterly precious and need to be protected, not harmed. We've never even once spanked Logan, never once hit Logan. He was, you know, he's autistic, and he was very violent when he was little. He was a toddler. He was nonverbal until he was 4. And those early toddler years, being nonverbal, we had no way to communicate with him, which just sent him into fits of rage because he wanted to communicate and couldn't understand him. And he would become so violent. And he had super strength. Like most autistic children, super strength. And I knew that if we attempted to discipline through physical means, I almost said physical violence, because that's what it would have felt like, that he would have interpreted that as, they hit me, so it is okay for me to hit them. Lead by example. So, I harnessed my inner peace and worked very hard to remain calm, cool and collected, and work through it. Eventually we started speech therapy, and we worked on sign language to communicate. He needed a snack. Did you see him come in? Did you see him over my shoulder? Or maybe he just heard Mama say his name too much. He wanted to see what was up. The violence ended once he had a way to communicate. And now he is the most sweetest, loving, compassionate boy you could ever dream of. He wouldn't hurt a single person. That's not true. Now that he has a baby sister, he would hurt anybody that would dare think to hurt her. Because he's lost a brother. So He would never let anything happen to her. He would do everything in his power. He would probably sacrifice himself to protect her. I could see that. And for me to lose any more children would probably end me. I don't know if my heart could take it. And then we'll move on to the next subject, my heart. I've not heard yet. It is Wednesday. I've not heard yet from the primary if my results came in. If I do not hear from him today, I am calling. I am not waiting until July 20th. If there is something funky, anything funky, low heart rates, arrhythmias, anything, Doogie's getting dropped. Like a bad habit. First, Doogie's going to give me that referral to get me in faster with cardiologist. Then Doogie's getting dropped. My last life update. Cleaning the chicken jar. Jar that had raw packed chicken. I have a green scrubby in there using the rubber end of a bottle cleaning brush to scrub. Alright. Let's get this down. It's a new green scrubby, so it's not folding the way I need it to. Fold, damn you. Come out. Anyways, I've had some lows, but I'm not going back to the hospital unless it's an hour long. I've had some lows, but it's only lasted 20-30 minutes and it comes back up. I've had some arrhythmias. They're short-lived. So, what's the point? Go back to the hospital, they find nothing again, and send me home. I don't have time to be away from the children for hours on end, for them to not figure out what's wrong, and send me home. When I can just stay home, wait it out for 20-30 minutes, and get back to life. Is that dangerous? Probably. Is it annoying to Doogie? Probably. But little Doogie Howser ain't exactly helpful himself. I mean, he done pissed me off when I begged for help and he told me to push fluids and he would see me July 20th. 6 weeks away. Listen here, little fucker. Sorry. That just really upset me. Push fluids. Push fluids. It just so upset me so bad. So sorry for that foul language. I need a drink. Allergies. I took a Benadryl. I screwed up. I took ibuprofen. I reached up into the medicine cabinet to grab the Benadryl. And I was listening for Nellie. I thought I heard her fussing because she's asleep right now. So I grabbed the bottle, opened it, poured out 2, closed the bottle, popped them, grabbed my drink, swallowed them. Light went off. It wasn't Benadryl. It was ibuprofen. They both have a blue lid. Different color pills. One's brown, one's pink. I'm not supposed to have ibuprofen for 2 reasons. Well, 3 reasons. 1, ulcerative colitis. 2, stomach ulcers. 3, bariatric weight loss surgery. I'm gonna have some serious heartburn. So I took a Zantac. I already had heartburn this morning, and I don't know why. Probably because I've been drinking flat birch beer. I got some. They had it for $1, a 2-liter, some white birch beer, not diet. Because in another video I mentioned my neurologist wanted me to avoid artificial sweeteners. I was just still running from crying over George. Sorry about that. Dabbing my nose like that on camera. I'm not going to apologize for crying. It's just stupid. You should never apologize for crying. If you need to cry, you cry. I learned that the hard way. I was raised, you never cry. For nothing. Don't you ever cry. You toughen up. There's no reason to cry. You stop crying. Or I'll give you something to cry about. Really? Really? If you're crying, you already have something to cry about. Cry. Let the flip out. Keep it bottled up. You're going to develop anger issues, manic depressive, compulsive disorders, PTSD, issues with coping, no coping skills. How are you going to learn to cope if you can't cry over something that's upset you? I didn't cry over my child almost dying. I didn't cry over that for 6 years. Does that sound healthy to you at all? I don't think so. Cry. Cry, people. Don't let people tell you don't cry. Just because it makes them uncomfortable to see you cry, that's their problem. Don't let them tell you not to cry. Let it out. I tell Logan all the time, let it out. He saw a fire truck yesterday. It reminded him of his grandpa, who was a fireman for the city. He was a retired fireman. 40 plus years, I think he was on that department before he retired. His grandpa just passed away 3 years ago this July. So, does seeing a fire truck always make him cry? No. Did it yesterday? Yeah. Did I get annoyed with him and tell him don't cry? Why are you crying? No. I said, it's okay, buddy. I understand. Let it out. Cry. It's okay. Go ahead and cry. And he did. And he only cried for like maybe 2 minutes max. And he was good. He was back to listening to his YouTube videos. He's learning coping skills. On that. So now, I get mad when people tell me, don't cry. Oh, honey, don't cry. Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me how to feel. Don't tell me how to cope. I get mad. I have a little bit of a temper. It takes a lot to get me mad, but certain things really push my buttons. And can get me mad fast. Don't let the hair fool you. Okay, this is from a bottle. I'll admit it right up. The color from a bottle. The curl, natural. Color from a bottle. Natural color, black. Hate it. See how pale I am? I look goth. I look washed out. I don't look good with my natural color. I look good with this color. Comes from a bottle. So I have a very long patience. I don't get mad quick. I don't get angry. I don't have a short temper. You know how they say redheads have short tempers. But I will say, when I do get mad, it is like a redhead. It is fiery. It just takes a lot to get there. I've rambled on for 25 minutes. I'll give you an update on Nellie. She got immunizations, but today she's doing better. That first day is always rough. No news on my heart. That bothers me. 9 weeks is coming up with Nellie. I'm struggling psychologically, but I see my therapist tomorrow, which is the day before the 9-week mark. Life goes on. We have a play date today. People are coming over. I got to cook some food, get some muffins going, and make a video for that for you. So I got to hop to it, and I'll see you next time.